So we've said that the the test of the Sotah might be a, so to speak, a value-free test that can sort out one thing from another, that can make peace between husband and wife. And yet, we, when we looked at the fifth Mishnah in the first chapter, we noticed the comment of the Rambam of Maimonides. Makpidim be'nivula ubi gnuvuta. The sages are scrupulous in her degradation and in her embarrassment. And the halacha goes according to the sages. We can see this a little bit in the beginning of the Mishnah. In the Mishnah, the Rambam's commenting on her clothes are torn and are ripped. Her hair is loosened. And the Mishnah then carries on. We're in the sixth Mishnah of the first chapter. So if she's clothed in white, he clothes her in black. And the commentators say that's just so she shouldn't look beautiful. If she had gold jewelry or gold chains, maybe she had nose rings or rings on her fingers. They take them from her to degrade her. And then he takes an Egyptian rope. We're not sure what an Egyptian rope is. It's some kind of rough rope. Maybe it's made out of reeds. The Jerusalem Talmud makes a connection here to actually the Torah reading on Yom Kippur. Remember, we read about the forbidden relationships on Yom Kippur. And that section begins, K'masei Eretz Mitzrayim, after the doings of the land of Egypt. K'masei Eretz Mitzrayim, after the doings of the land of Egypt. Asher yeshavtem ba lo ta'asu. After the practice of the land of Egypt, which you used to live in, you shall not do. And we'll see, by the way, that the references to Egypt come back later on in this Mishnah. We're not going to lose the references to Egypt. So he takes an Egyptian rope, and he binds it above her breast. So he's ripped her clothes, but he doesn't want her to be naked. So he ties them on again with this Egyptian rope. Anyone who wants to come and look at her comes to look. Other than her slaves and her maidservants. It seems to be the kind of the people she's familiar with. So she's not going to see anyone she knows, but everyone, all the strangers can come and look at her. Because her heart blows up in front of them. Liba gasbahen, not quite sure what this means in the context. Most people will translate it as has no shame in front of them. And all the other women are permitted to look at her. And now I'm going to quote from Ezekiel. Ezekiel is comparing the behavior of the people of Israel to the behavior of a prostitute. And then he says, and I'm going to display this in the marketplace, so all women should learn not to do like you're scheming. It's as if the adulterous woman is the archetype of the national sin of the people of Israel. And the Mishnah continues, Bamidah she'adam moded ba modedin lo, in the measure with which a person measures, or perhaps the quality with which a person displays. A midah can be a quality or a measure. Ba modedin lo, they measure him. almost as if to say, well, it is the intent is clear to say measure for measure. Hiki shtait atzma la'avera, so she adorned herself for sin. V'hamakom nivla, so the God made her repulsive. He gilta et atzma ve'makom gila aleha. She exposed herself for a sin. He exposed her. Yarech hitrila ba'averat chila. She began the transgression with the thigh. V'char kach habeten, and afterwards with the womb. Lefichach tilke hayaret chila. Therefore, she'll be struck first in the thigh. We're going to see later in the Mishnah that the effect of the water seems to begin in the thigh. Tilke hayarech tchila v'char kach habeten. First in the thigh and afterwards in the womb. Ushal kol haguf lo chaleit. And the rest of the body doesn't escape. It's as if we're holding up this woman. I mean, this is a tragic woman, actually. This is a tragic story. As if we're holding her up as a sort of symbol, almost a scapegoat for the sins of the whole of the people of Israel. It's a tragic, tragic story. And in the subsequent Mishnayot in the chapter, we're going to explore stories of other people who've met tragic ends.